this is Tranisha Cottrell, and today I wanted to talk about commitment. So, what made me want to talk about commitment today is I was listening to a sermon earlier, and I think it was called Healthy, Getting Healthy in Your Religion, or something like that is the name of it. And let me just take a little pray. And so I had to take a moment. So, so for you, it was just like no time at all. But for me, it was just like, yeah, that happened. So I don't know. My arms feel weird in every place. I'm just gonna have to sit like this. I think this is good. I don't like it like that. I'll sit like this. It'll be fine. Okay, so I'm trying to get the placement of this camera right because it's like I want like when I do certain outfits and things like that, I like to show like the patterns and things like that. So I know it's like extra, but so I have like my pearls. This is a bracelet that my daughter made for me. It's not like so it's very special. And this is my New Beginnings bracelet. It's got like a little teeny tiny butterfly on it. And then this is the first gift that I ever bought for myself to show how much I appreciate myself. Like when I first started my self growth, self love journey, I was on the site and it was different things like about new beginnings and things like that and different things. And I didn't get this one at that time. I got this one later. But while I was on the site and I was reflecting over my life and really doing some real self reflection, like really acknowledging my flaws, really thinking about ways that I want to grow and learn and continue to develop into a better person, to grow into a better person, I started to just look at different things, look at courses, look at seminars, look at videos, listen to songs, radio stations, podcasts, whatever it is that I could get my hands on just to learn more knowledge so that I can become a better person is what I did. And so my necklace says faith over fear, even though you can't read it, but it does. It has like a little faith and then a line and then fear under. And so as I was growing and learning and appreciating different things about myself, I started to really love my hair. I started to, every stage, I started to really like my skin. I really started to take care of my skin. I started to take special care of every part of me, my mind, my body, my soul. I started to really focus on growing my business. I started to think about different ways that I can help other people and serve. And I didn't even think that that was serving at that time. I just knew I wanted to help people. I knew that everything that I've been through was for a reason, and every time you go through something, it is it is used to be beneficial to others. It's used as a testimony so that other people can see that they can make it through as well. They can see the grace that God's giving you and the mercy that He's given you on your life. And so for me, it was just like, it was one of those things that really allowed me to get closer and closer to God, to get closer to becoming the person that I want to become. And so the more I started to do different things, I started to feel like, okay, I want someone else to do all of these things for me. I want them to love me the way that I am. I really need to love myself. I can't expect someone to do something that I'm not doing. I can't expect someone to have compassion for me when I'm not compassionate. I can't expect someone to be understanding when I'm not being understanding. I can't expect someone just to be God. No one will ever be God. And so for me, once I came to the realization that God is the only thing that could fill that emptiness inside of me, the only one that could fill me up, the only one who could really truly love me in spite of everything else at that moment and love me like with all the all of the past things that I've been through, all of the things that I've done wrong, everything that I've been through in my life, and not hold it against me, not say you've done this so now I'm going to do this, not use it as revenge or as a way to get back at me, but really showing true grace, his true grace and mercy and the love that he really does have for me. It really made me think like, wow, this is what love really is. This is the love that I've been searching for my entire life. And I know you're probably thinking I'm young, like how long have you really been searching for love? But but I really just felt like this is what I was missing. This is the thing that I needed. This is the thing, like I thought a relationship would heal me from my past trauma. I thought that someone would come in, and all of the sadness that I felt from feeling disappointed that I didn't stand up for myself in certain moments, or that I couldn't, you know, I couldn't be strong enough in certain areas to defend myself or whatever else. It really just, all of those areas, all of those areas that I thought were imperfect, that, you know, it was too late, like God could never use me, or I did too much, God would never be able to use me. He used for his benefit. He really did. Like, not everything that I went through, I kept it, I I scraped the surface on this book. I didn't go super deep. I talked about some things that happened to me, but there's even more that's not even in this book. There's some things that I probably could have shared that would have helped other people as well. But everything that was at the forefront of my mind that God put in my heart to write about is what I put in this book. I didn't put anything else. I didn't add anything to point the finger at anyone or to like point out any other areas. The only thing I did was focus on what it was that God told me to write about. I didn't I didn't ad lib. I didn't do anything else. There was a point in the story where I was writing and I was like, this happened to me. I remember this, and God was saying, don't write this like this. Like, initially, He never told me to write it, but it was just one of those things that I was like, maybe this can help someone. And because I was coming from the right place, I guess God said, okay, since you're coming from the right place, and if you're going to write it, write this. Don't just point the finger at someone. Don't acknowledge. You need to acknowledge your flaws. You need to acknowledge that you've grown. You need to show that even though this is how you used to be, this is how you are growing into a better person. This is how you're becoming more understanding. This is how you will show true forgiveness. And so that's exactly what I tried to do. And so, long story short, after I have been going through this process of really working on myself, I got myself this watch. It's not that this watch means anything. Like, it doesn't have like an engraving on the back, and maybe one day I will engrave it and say, always remember to love yourself, or, you know, always remember to be you, no matter who's around, no matter what's happening, no matter who you're with, or who rejects you, or who doesn't like you, or whatever else. But always remember to just be yourself, and just truly just love on yourself. Like, don't just because someone else has an opinion about something doesn't mean it's the truth. Because someone else doesn't like you doesn't mean that someone else won't. Just because someone else doesn't want to commit to you doesn't mean the right person won't. Like, it doesn't mean anything. All it means is that's just that person's opinion, and everybody is welcome to have whatever opinion it is that they want to have. You can't make someone or control someone into being what you want them to be. The person who is supposed to be in your life, who is supposed to be a part of your life, or as a friend, or as a potential partner, or whatever else, will be there. They will be that. They will be exactly where they need to be. And I think sometimes we feel like we could just change someone's mind, or make someone feel a certain type of way, or make someone be ready to commit, or make someone be ready to see our full potential. Like, and I don't just mean in a romantic way. I mean it with like parents and everything. And I'm not saying it in my personal opinion. I'm just saying in general, because I see a lot of people will say things like, oh, well, if I could just, oh, it just popped into my head, and I think this will be even more helpful. I was watching this America's Next Top Model, and there was this girl on there, and she said, I'll never forget this. She said, I want to win America's Next Top Model so that my dad can come back in my life. And the judges, one of the judges said, no matter what you do, people try to do this all the time. They always come here thinking that once they become an NBA star, or a famous basketball player, or a singer, or some sort of artist, or a model, or they become famous, and they have all this limelight, that their parents are going to come back into their lives. And the judge said, a lot of the times that doesn't happen. There's nothing that you can do that would make someone be in your life who doesn't want to be there. And I know it probably hurt that girl's feelings, but it was so true. And all of the other women, or all of the other men in the world who are watching it, thinking that this is going to bring that absent parent back, it wasn't going to happen. because you can't make someone be a part of your life that doesn't want to be a part of your life. The people who are supposed to be there, God has there. And anything that you went through, God has put you through because He knows that you can handle it. He knows that you're strong enough to turn that struggle, that pain, that tragic event into purpose. You can turn it into something that can change the world. You can turn it into a testimony. And people will see that because you were strong enough to make it through that, anyone else can. And so I think it's really important for us to know that you can't make anyone see your value. The only thing that you can do is see your own value and know that God values you. When you know that God values you, I like to pretend as if you know God values you. So when people say things that hurt your feelings, you don't feel any pain. That's not true. That's not realistic. It sounds good in theory, like I like to say all the time, because people like to theorize all the time and pretend as if they're just a statue or machine, but we're human beings with emotions and feelings and everything else. When people say things, regardless of how you feel, like I've had people in the past say things like that I don't want to hear and in a rude way. And my feelings are hurt. Yeah, because no one wants to hear something negative. But I also know that you can't control anyone. You can't make someone be something that they're not. People are in your life for a reason. God has everything in place the way it's supposed to be. So if I try to take God's place in manipulating my life or controlling things, nothing is going to turn out the way it's supposed to. Everything will be out of order. My journey will be longer. The things that God has for me won't be within reach, they'll be within distance because I went on another path. I took a detour on my path to my purpose. It's funny because as the pastor preached about commitment, that's one of the things that he said as well. He said that sometimes you're trying to get someone in your life to commit when, no, he said you're trying to commit to someone that will never commit to you, or something that will never commit to you. Like whether that be that food that you always overindulge in and you're committed to eating all this food. You know it's bad for you, whatever else, but the food doesn't agree with you. It messes you up. It makes you gain weight like crazy. It breaks you out, whatever else it is. Like things like that we don't think of. And it could be a person. It could be like that absent family member. It could be a job that you want to commit to because of the money or something, and it's not good for you. It's not good for your mental health. It's not good for your mind, your body, your soul. It's not healthy for you. It could be a person who seems almost super close to perfection and not perfect in reality, just like they meet some boxes on a checklist and you feel like that's all you need. And I did not know I was going to say that. Okay. So, but you feel like that's all you need, and really, it's not good for you. Really, it's something that's going to drain you. It's going to be something that pulls way too much energy away from you because you want that person more than they want you. It's going to be the thing that distracts you from your purpose. It's going to make you think about them all day instead of thinking about your purpose. It's going to make you fantasize about how life could be with that person, or different things like that, instead of thinking about reality or thinking about your business and growing your business. It's going to be it's going to be toxic or unhealthy because you're feeling a certain type of way when that's not true. That's not how the person will never be in a position to commit because they they aren't the right person for you. The right person for you will commit to you. The job will commit to you. The food will agree with you. The person will be willing to appreciate and commit to you. Why is my hand itching again? Goodness gracious, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. And I also know like some people are gonna be like, it's crazy that you rub your hand that itches on your pocket like you really are about to get some money. But let me tell you something. This is something that I've done since I was a kid, and I'm not gonna stop now. I know God continues to bless me in multiple ways. And I also have different things that I've done since I was a kid that I'm still going to continue to do. I might, people might not understand. I understand. I mean, I get it because everybody has like their own things that like the family members and things say, like when you fall asleep on your back or, whatever else. This hand thing is going to continue to happen. In every video, every time my hand itches, I'm not going to pause the video to pretend as if I don't do this. I'm going to do it because this is real life. And so, so yeah, like whenever you see me do that, that's what it is. Right hand money, left hand giving it away, something like that. So I just, that's something that I do. I need to stop doing it. Like my hands are so close to the screen. There we go. Now it doesn't look the same. Looks a little better. I just can't get this whole like I'm trying to just chill. Like this chair is so cute. My mom gave me this, by the way. So because the room has like pink flowers, I wish I could show you it, but I mean I could. I'm not, but I might not be able to get this position back. So I'm not going to move the camera all around and then try to get back in the same position that I was just in. Like, as long as I'm sitting here, I'm good. Like, this is exactly where I want the camera to be. But the thing is, I have this sign that just came in the mail. It says, first love yourself. It's going to go. See, now I'm just doing the most. And you are like, it's going to get caught in your hair. It probably will because I'm trying to do the most. But it's going to go like that behind me. And it's going to be lighting up and things like that. But I gotta get this camera position right. I know, I look ridiculous sliding down in the chair to show everybody a sign that I have down here. But yes, it says first love yourself. That's the name of my business. And so, I don't know if I have it in this book. Do I? Most of the time I put like a little thing at the back of the book or something. Oh, I do. I have like my little, it says first love yourself. First love yourself.care. But, and then that's my card. So they all look like that with the cursive writing. And yeah, so it's just that. Sit back again because it's gonna look weird. See, I'm trying not to be doing the most in these videos, but I also want to be realistic. And I don't want to make it seem like, why is my shirt doing all of this? It's like, I can't get this together. So this says love. I use like I use the scarf pin to pin my shirt together so that it would be so that it would look like that when I stand up instead of being like all extra bulky, which I do like it just open and everything else because it's comfortable. And I can't get this thing to do the right thing today. It's fine. I mean, you know how it is. It is what it is. And so, so I know I always get preoccupied and my focus is off sometimes, but I just wanted to show you the sign because I really am trying to get this room. I reorganized this room like 3 times when I was in my waiting season. I really did. Like it was already clean, and then I was like, you know what? I think I'm gonna move this into the other room. I think I'm gonna move all of this stuff around. I think I'm gonna turn this shelf into a thing that displays like encouraging words and things like that, or things that I aspire to have one day, or something like that. So I did. I put my life coaching thing on there, and I did. I want to show you this thing, but I feel like if I do it, I might as well just keep on starting trends. So I'm going to show you this. So on my shelf, I made this bouquet of flowers. This is a ribbon. So when I'm like tying things for like when people buy personalized items, I don't have one of my bracelets on today, but I really should have had it for this video. So when I do my bracelets and stuff, I put a ribbon around the box, or it goes in like a special bag that has a fly on it for first love yourself. And so whenever I need a ribbon, I just pull it off, and yeah, I turned it into a vase, but it's not a vase, it's just a thing that houses ribbons and my flowers now. So that's just something that I did. I just try to like create little different things like that so it can kind of stand out, and it won't be like everyone else's thing. Like Well, that's not really that different, so I'm not gonna show that. But yeah, I do stuff like that. See if I can get this thing to stay now. Now that I just had to rearrange it for no reason. But yeah, let's get back to the message because I get really preoccupied or distracted sometimes. And I feel like that's real life. When we are doing things in life, when we're focused on our vision, when we're focused on the things that God wants us to do, we really do get distracted. There's this amazing looking guy that comes out of nowhere. There is this person who there's things that in your life you think is going to go a certain way and they don't go that way. And then you feel like, how did I not know that this was going to be like this weird situation? But, or whatever else. And it's just like, whew. And like another side note, because, I'm all about side notes and stuff like that. And there's going to be like some new people that are going to be like, just get to the message. But I promise you, I have a point. I have a point, I promise. And so, so my hair looks like this. For people that don't know, my hair changes often. Sometimes I'm trying to really just embrace the curls and just let it be what it is. And I really do try. And then it's like something happens. And like, let's say I go to sleep tonight and I'll put it in a high puff because I want to get it, I don't want to lay on my hair and it be super flat. And I also want to make sure that I am not like smushing my curls and stuff like that. So I just put it up in a loose thing. So when it comes back down, it should look the same, but it never does. And so in the morning, I will go and I'll put my hair down and it'll either be longer on one side than the other, or it'll be smushed in one area and then it'll be fluffy on the other. And I'll try to fluff it out, but it won't look the same. And it really just, it's no way to control the hair. It just, like today, it looks so good. And I have an event tomorrow. Why couldn't it look like this tomorrow? But of course, it's just going to do what it does. And so, so I'm just going to go with the flow. Whatever, I mean, it's going to look presentable and decent. I'm not just gonna have it all over the place or doing whatever. I'm gonna make sure that it looks intentional and and everything else like nice and neat or whatever. I'm not going to have it just go like. But if you're new to watching these videos, I sometimes I veer off and I always explain the hair. I know I don't have to, but I feel like it's good to educate people on natural hair in a way, because some people will be like, well, like when I straighten my hair, a lot of people will say, why don't you just wear your hair straight? It's pretty long. I mean, it's a good length. I wouldn't say it's super long or any. I would say it's like medium length or something. Like I didn't measure it the last time. Sometimes I measure it so I can see if I'm taking good care of my hair, if it's really growing and it's healthy. And last time it looked super healthy, so I didn't measure it because I was like, okay, my hair looks really healthy. I took off like 4 to 5 inches, which wasn't too bad, and it just looks so healthy and shiny, and I was really really happy with the way that Tammy did it. I shouted out Tammy, so but yeah, she is amazing with natural hair, amazing with permed hair, with uh permed relaxed hair or whatever else. And little side note, perm is perm rod, intended to make your hair curly. Relaxer, intended to straighten your hair. Just want to throw that out there, just so there's no confusion. And so, so you will see me wear my hair differently in a lot of different videos. I know I don't have to explain it, but I just like to educate people on what's going on because, you know, I want to be transparent and I want people to understand what is happening. So you might even see me throw on a wig. I said it. I wasn't going to say it in the video. I wasn't going to make it a thing. I was going to just pretend as if, whatever else. But I don't like to put a lot of heat in my hair because I don't want to damage it. I don't want it to be ruined. I don't want things to happen with it. So yes, my hair is a nice length. It's pretty long. It looks really good. And it looks good because I keep it in protective styles. I don't just wear my hair open like this all the time because if my hair is constantly rubbing against this, it will break off. So I try to make sure that I'm not drying out my ends, or if I am wearing it down, I'm moisturizing it a lot so it doesn't end up breaking off and splitting my ends. You will see me wear my hair in braids because protective style, up, down, wig, whatever, because I will do whatever I need to do to make sure I'm taking care of my temple. I take care of my teeth. I know I always do that, but I really do take care of my teeth really, really well. I try to make sure that I'm at every dentist appointment. I am flossing, I'm Listerining, I'm tongue scraping, I am doing like the little light thing to whiten my teeth sometimes. I don't do it as often as I should. I do it like once every 3 to 4 months because I always forget. I always try to do it like once a month or every 3 weeks, but I never stick to my schedule. And it's not that I don't want to, it's just I have other things going on. So by the time I think about it, it's already too late. So so I do that. I pay attention to those things. I always have this message that just pops up. There we go. Mm-mm-mm. Pay attention to my teeth. Make sure that I'm exercising on a regular basis. I exercise pretty much every day. I say pretty much because if something comes up and I have to leave at 4 o'clock in the morning, if I don't get back home until like really, really late, then I won't be able to exercise that day. Okay, now we're good. And then when it comes to just taking care of my skin, my mind, my body, and my soul is really important because I want to make sure that I am really honoring my temple. I'm respecting my body. I'm respecting my body by putting healthy foods in it. I am working out. I am being intentional about the things that I allow on my body, like the moisturizer, the skincare, whatever else it is. Whatever it is, I want it to be gentle. I want it to be something that's not going to blemish me or break me out or hurt me in some sort of way. Like, do I eat healthy all the time? Absolutely not. I'm not gonna sit here and pretend like all I eat is salmon. All I eat is salmon and what's I about to say? Salmon, really? All I eat is salmon. I'm not gonna pretend like that's what I do. Just eat different like seafood and rice, or I don't know if they consider rice to be healthy. Brown rice is decent, but you still get, it's kind of like a, if you're maintaining kind of thing. If you're losing, you want to do more veggies, things like that. I don't usually do a lot of veggies. I don't count calories anymore because I know pretty much what how many calories is in everything for the most part. Like, and I don't just say, "Oh, I need 1800 calories today." I just eat healthy meals throughout the day and snacks. I do my smoothie, I do oatmeal in the morning, or I do like some kind of breakfast with the egg and some sort of meat or something like that, like as if it's an omelet. Or if I do toast, which I rarely do toast, I would do like multigrain because I can't do whole wheat. I cannot. I'm so sorry. I know people are gonna say multigrain is like good for you, but it's not the best one for you. I understand. I know what's in the whole wheat ones. I get it. And I also know that I am not eating anything that's tasteless with a weird aftertaste like that. I can't do it. I can't. I eat healthy, yes. Yes, I wanna take care of my body. Yes, I wanna eat stuff that's good for it. But I'm not eating any flavorless thing with a weird aftertaste. I just can't do it. I can't do anything that I can't put anything inside my body. Like, I'm not putting anything inside my mouth that is disgusting. I just can't do it. I cannot, like, if the food is gross and it's healthy, I'm not doing it. I'm not that super healthy. I'm healthy, like, I know that I like popcorn or whatever. So I might do air pop popcorn and I might be able to eat a gigantic bowl because it's not a lot of calories, and I just spray the top and put a little bit of Himalayan pink salt on it or something and just shake it around. And on the days where I want to eat a little bad, I might put my secret ingredient in there. I'm not gonna say what that is, but but I might do that, and it's delicious. And I'm at the beginning, I would do these macaroons or whatever. Coconut macaroons. Is it a macaroon? It was like coconut something. I don't know what it's called, but I would just do the coconut, and I would do maple syrup and an egg. And maple syrup's really not bad for you in moderation. I would mix it together, put it in the oven, let the bottom crisp up, and eat those things. Sometimes I get fancy and put a little almond in the middle or whatever else, or some sort of nut, or I'd even get even more fancy and I would grate an almond and put it on top so that it has like little sprinkles of almond on top. But yeah, that's just, I would eat something like that. It's still healthy, but it's delicious. I can't do the tasteless, nasty, healthy foods. I'm not that type of healthy person. Like, do I eat some weird stuff that people consider weird? Yeah. Yes, I eat hummus. Yes, I eat avocado. I love avocados. Yes, I yes, I eat seaweed. Like, I do these things. But I also like the taste of those things. I don't just eat it because it's some sort of like thing that everyone's doing. Like, no. Mm-mm. And it's got to be good hummus. That I've had some horrible ones, but there are some good ones. I can't remember the name of it, but it's like in a little round thing with the orange thing on top. It's got like sometimes you can get salsa in it, but it's this one comes with hummus. That one's really good. And for avocado, I do guac, but it's usually homemade. Sometimes I do it at Chipotle or something like that, but not to shout out Chipotle. I'm just saying. And it's just delicious. I do things like that because I want to be eating the best thing, like what I consider healthy for my body in moderation. I'm not just overly concerned about everything being super healthy. Like, do I not eat some stuff that's fried? Like, I don't really eat fried foods at all. Every once in a while, someone will give me something that's fried that I don't know is fried, and I'll eat it. Or if I'm at a restaurant and they're making like oven baked or they're making sweet potato fries. Of course, for those of you that don't know, those come in the fryer. They don't come in the oven, even though they're supposed to be healthier for you. So it's like it defeats the purpose. But you know, I guess as long as people could tell themselves it's fine, it's fine. And so things like that. I do like healthier versions of things, like when I do a hamburger without the bun. I'm still eating a burger. Maybe that's not the best thing, but it's a healthier version of the thing. When I do broccoli, I know people are gonna get on me because does not have a lot of flavor, but it is good to me, especially after you eat healthy and stuff like that. So, so when I do broccoli, if it's like broccoli and garlic butter sauce, I say please don't add the garlic butter sauce. And what I do is ask for extra lemon and I will put pepper on it and I will squeeze lemon juice on the broccoli. It's really good. It really is. And so it doesn't make you feel like you're eating tasteless broccoli. You're really eating something with some sort of flavor and it's good for you because the lemon helps you. I think it's like it helps with digestion or something. It's really good for your system in moderation because the acidity can also and it can also weaken the enamel on your teeth. So you have to just be careful. And just like when I do coffee, instead of is my coffee super healthy? No. Is it healthier? Yes. And so so what I do is I do coffee and I do like 2% milk or almond milk instead of creamer. I know creamer only has like 5 calories or something and no sugars supposedly and all this other stuff. I understand that. But if I'm going with the healthier version, I'm going with something with some sort of milk in it. Do I want to do whole milk? No, but if there's no 2% milk, I will probably use whole milk, but just not, I'll use less than I would if I would use 2% or almond milk. So I use that, and what I would do is use a sweetener. I know you're probably thinking, what? There's no way it's sweet enough. Do half coffee, half milk. And you could even do flavored coffee like French vanilla or something. It doesn't have any sugars or anything in it. It's just for the flavor to give you that smell. So because the coffee is already French vanilla flavored and I'm using half a cup or like this much milk, it literally tastes like I have a bunch of creamer in it, but I don't. And it's better for me. So I'll do stuff like that because I can't do flavorless. I just can't. I can't do the nasty stuff. I mean, to me, like if I don't like the taste of it, I'm not just going to eat it just because, this is supposed to be healthier for me. I really have to be doing it with intention. And I feel like that's how all of us have to be in our life. We have to be intentional. And we have to like the things that like us. Like, don't just go for the guy who looks like that he might be a decent human being or gets a lot of attention or has a lot of swag. Let's go for the guy with real good values that really does appreciate us. Because what is the point of liking someone who will never see your value? There's no point in it. There really is. And I know sitting here in this video, you're probably saying, "Oh, you're a video warrior." Like because in theory you talking all that stuff, but when you get in real life in the field, you you might not act like that. But I promise you, when it comes to real life, I really do look at core values now after all the things that I went through. I can't just judge a book by its cover. I can't just take someone as, oh, because they look good, they're going to be good for me. Like, that means nothing. That just means you're attractive, just like most of the people in the world. And that's really based on what my attraction is. That's not based on the person that I could be not attracted to someone else, and it doesn't mean that someone else won't be attracted to them. They might be, because it's just what they like. And so so it's just one of those things. When I start thinking about the pastor's sermon, I think about commitment. And I think about me. I think about, it's so weird, and I feel like I can say this and be transparent in this moment. But but when the pastor said something about committing, it made me think about me and how I usually push people away. In the past, I would push people away, and I wouldn't let anybody get close enough to me. Like, I could feel myself feeling a certain way about someone or something, and I would just pull back immediately. Like, and it's not that the person did anything wrong, that there's anything wrong with them, that they treated me badly or anything. It's just I couldn't allow myself to feel vulnerable at all. Like, every time I would start to feel an emotion, I would stop talking to someone altogether for like weeks. Or I would, this is not a good habit. I'm not saying anyone should do this at all. And honestly, I advise against this. I really feel like if you want to meet people, if you want to be in your purpose, you're going to have to be open to allowing people to see parts of you that they don't usually get to see, that you usually block from other people, because you never know what part of you is going to be used as a blessing to give God glory, you know? So for me, like, there's things about me. I'm saying this because I'm being transparent, not because I want to be judged and crucified. I I really, some days I will go out of the house and I always look like put together and decent anyways, but I will, I don't know if men have this issue, but that it's like you're doing your hair or you're doing something, and it's like your hair just won't do right. Like, you did the same hairstyle yesterday and the piece just laid right on in there. Bam, bam, right in there. Like it was almost as if you rehearsed for this moment or something. But but it just right in there. Like, in the right spot, looking good, laid, dyed, flied, and laid to the side. I can't remember how that saying goes, but it was just like, and so did I really do a sound effect? Okay. But it just goes right in there. And the next day you do the same thing and it's like, really though? Like, this is what's happening right now. This is what's happening. It's just my hair is just not gonna do right today. Then you only got 10 minutes, but you're like, you know what, I could fix this. Let me go ahead and try to do something different. I can really, no, I could fix this. I'm about to change this whole hairstyle. It's about to be even better than yesterday's hairstyle. You go to put it in the next style, and that same piece or another piece doesn't go down. Like, sometimes, and this is so weird, but when I get ready for bed and I put my hair in a high puff, it's cute. Or sometimes I'll put it in like a ball, like I put it in a high puff and I'll just pin the end. And I had no intention of this being a good hairstyle. It looks so good. It's like, now I get ready to go the next day and I'm like, all right, well, I laid down, so let me go ahead and like repin this piece. I go to pin it, it looks nothing like it did the night before. I'm like, really? Really? But it happens all the time. And so it's just one of those things, like, man, mm, let me just get back to the other thing, because I'm going so far off and everybody's like, okay, we hear your stories. We understand that you have things that you do in life, but we are trying to hear what the purpose is. Okay. So so instead of pushing people away, if I really want someone to commit, if I really want to be in a committed relationship eventually, and I need to stop saying eventually. I keep saying 10 years from now, 5 years. I keep saying whenever God, like, I try to say whenever God wants it to happen, because I don't want to seem disobedient. and make it seem as if I'm trying to neglect my what could be beneficial to the kingdom. I don't want to just make it seem as if I don't desire to be in a relationship. I don't want to make it seem as if I just, I mean, I'm really trying so hard to become more vulnerable, but I need to be vulnerable with someone who deserves it. Someone who really does deserve me being able to be vulnerable with them. I can't just be vulnerable with anyone and then they just crush my spirit or they just turn around and, try to try to make me feel insignificant or whatever else, like, or they're not sure, like they have no intention and intentionality in their life or whatever else. Like I can only I only want to become vulnerable with someone who deserves it, someone who really really truly deserves to see me in that state, who I feel comfortable enough around to be able to do that, someone who has shown me that I can trust them or that I can begin to trust them, even if, we're all humans, we're all going to make mistakes. I'm not saying the person has to be perfect. I'm just saying that I want to feel like comfortable enough to be able to do that. And and when it comes to commitment, when the pastor preached and he talked about, you're trying to commit to something that doesn't want to commit to you, it automatically flashed in my mind, had me thinking about how I I did not like to commit. I was gonna say I don't like to, but I'm gonna say I did not because we're gonna say past tense because we know the power of the tongue, and I'm not trying to go backwards. I'm trying to move forward in my life, and so, so I'm saying that I want this, but I have to be this for myself. I have to be willing to be able to commit to someone when the time comes. And it blew my mind because I was thinking about what the other person was going to be giving me. I was thinking about how how, oh yeah, I'm going to do these things working on myself, but when the person comes, it's just going to be like out of nowhere. I will just I don't know if I thought it was going to be like some kind of magic pill or what, but I really didn't think about how I needed to be able to be willing to commit. I never thought about that. I never thought. So in my mind, I'm thinking I'm gonna meet several people who are not gonna be good people. I'm gonna meet several people who will never be willing to be in a relationship, anyways, or whatever else. I'm thinking in my mind, this is what's happening. And then when God brings a person along, there's just gonna be something different about this person, and they're gonna be willing. They're gonna be able to penetrate all the barriers that I have around me or something like that. I don't know. In my head, this is how this is happening. and, and they come in and it's just the flow. Things flow naturally, whatever else. Next thing you know, I'm ready to commit. Like I feel and they're ready to commit and so I'm ready to commit. Like I feel like I thought that magically I would just be ready. Like because the person is right and it would just be like a magical thing that happens. But when the pastor said it, and it made me think about how I don't like to be vulnerable, how I didn't like to be vulnerable, and how I push people away, it made me think about how can I truly commit to someone when I'm not allowing anyone to get close enough? How can I truly be able to commit if no one I don't want to say no one is. Let's say no one seemed good enough because we're going to speak in past tense because I'm not going to speak that over my future person. And so but it really made me do some self-reflecting. Like not only do I need to commit to things that commit to me, but I also need to make sure that I am willing to allow myself to be vulnerable. Allow someone to really get to know me when it's so weird because I really didn't think I had an issue with this because I never expected anyone to ever make it past a certain point anyways. Like I just thought every person's gonna be the wrong person or they're all gonna be like a certain type of way or everyone's gonna be a mean person or whatever else. Like in my head, this is what was happening. So I never felt like I had to worry about it at all or be concerned about it. It was just gonna be something that I would, I mean, it wouldn't matter anyways. And so when I thought back over the past and I thought about how I always was the type of person that just pushed people away. Like I I would do this thing that I didn't realize I did until now, when I know that I have to be intentional with my life and I have to really be ready that whenever someone asks me a question that's personal, I deflect or change the subject. Didn't even realize I did it until I started working on myself. Now I'm like, oh, I could just see everything now. Like, what in the world? Why am I doing this? Like, someone will ask me something and it'll be a personal question. It's legit. It's a legitimate question, because if I was dating someone, I would want to know that. Like, I would want to know about this thing. I would want to know about like where their head is. I would want to know so I can get to know them so that I can feel like they would be open to being with me potentially, or getting to know me better or something like that. And so for me to be so standoffish and not being vulnerable and to just deflect is so weird. Like I really didn't even realize that I did it until recently. And I mean I could feel how uncomfortable I feel when people ask me certain things, and it's just like I have like this barrier that just, like, I'm like laughing and talking and everything's good, and then they ask me a question like really trying to get to know me, and I can just feel this like blanket over me. Like, it's just like, I don't know how to describe it, but it's like a protective blanket or something, protective barrier over me, that's like, okay, this person's trying to get close. Let me go ahead and put this shield up so no one can get through. Like, I don't know what it is, but I really am working to be in a place where I will be able to be vulnerable, where I will be able to allow someone in, because eventually someone is going to have to be able to get in. I can't just be standoffish, or not standoffish. I can't just be this person who pushes people away, especially people who truly are going to care about me, especially people who are going to want to commit to me, especially people who will want to be a part of my life, or who will need me to be vulnerable or meek at times. I can't be vulnerable if I'm not allowing someone to show me whether I could or could not trust them. And not everyone is going to be trustworthy, and I understand that. And I think that's what's one of the scariest things, is knowing that most people won't be trustworthy. Or I know, for the most part, I know that most people won't even deserve my trust. But there will be someone who will. And I'm going to need to be able to commit. So, in conclusion, when it comes to life, make sure that, what in the world? When it comes to life, make sure that you are committing to the things that commit to you, whether it's a job or food or your health, or it is, I don't want to say health because people's health goes up and down. Let's say food, because you could choose to eat healthy or not. Let's say, and you know what it does to your body and your skin and everything else. When it comes to, why is my stomach growling? Oh, yeah, I got that food in there that I haven't ate yet. I'm like, oh, I guess today is a day of sound effects on the video, but it is what it is. Make sure that you are committing to things that actually want to commit to you. If it's a person who is a potential partner or someone you're dating or talking to, make sure that they are in a place where they're willing to commit. Don't just be worried about trying to convince someone that you're good enough. The person for you will know that you're good enough. They'll see your value. You don't have to prove anything to anybody. So some people may feel like they have to prove it. Like, oh, this person, I'm a great catch. This person has to see my value. Like, they don't have to see anything, because you might not be the person for them. That sounds harsh. It's a little like strong for me to say it like that. But it's true. It's happened to me. It's happened to everybody. Not You're not everybody's cup of tea. That doesn't mean that anything's wrong with you. It could mean that something has to be improved upon, but most of the time it's just not a good fit. Most of the time it's just that you guys are not meant for each other. And it sucks, especially when you like someone and they just know that you're not the person for them. And it's also a blessing because the person who is for you will appreciate you and be willing to commit to you and will see your value. So don't ever feel like you're missing out on anything because God is not a God of lack. He will never take anything away without giving you something that's better. And you know what? Even as I say that, when I think about that, it makes me feel so good because some of the people that God removed out of my life, I'm like, I thought they were amazing, or I thought they were incredible, or they seemed really cool, or, they had the same core values or whatever else. And I'm like, if God is saying that this person isn't the one, or if I'm not ready yet, then I can only imagine what he has in store. Like, can you imagine that? Like, you thought this person would be good for you in some sort of way. Now imagine that times five. And I say times five because we might be thinking exterior. We might be thinking the things that we see. But God is looking at how the person is behind the scenes. He's looking at this person, how they're working on themselves, the areas of your life that they will help you in, or that they will be an asset to you in, that you could be an asset to them in. Someone who really will be everything that you need and not just what you want. So when I think about it like that, it makes me feel so blessed, like so grateful for God, because I know God God can do anything. He really can. And when I look at my life, when I look at the things that he's blessed me with, the things that I see, the things that I know of, it just his goodness is just incredible. I can't imagine having it any other way. I can't imagine just doing things the way that I want them to be, because I know whatever God's plan is better than anything I can ever think of. I know that I know that when the time comes, I will be ready to commit. I will be willing to be vulnerable with someone who deserves it. I will be in a position where I will feel ready. I won't just feel like I don't know if I'm healed. I will know that I'm healed enough for this relationship. And so I'm just ready when God's ready for me to be in a position where I'm supposed to be in my life, so that things work out the way that He intended. Because I always make this running joke, but if I plan my life, if I try to do the things my way, it will be a catastrophe. Like, I've been there, done that. Like, I need to do it God's way now, because every time He plans something, every time He does something in my life, it turns out so much more incredible than anything I could ever imagine. Like, I couldn't even see how his game plan was going to go. It was so many moves in the game that I couldn't keep up. And the next thing you know, it's like blessing after blessing after blessing after blessing all at once. But it was working in the background. He was doing all of these things while I wasn't even aware, while I didn't even know that these things were happening on my behalf. And he constantly does things like this, which makes me feel so appreciative. It makes me feel so honored. And I just, I can't imagine my life without him.